haven't done this before. This is a first. Hi everybody. I am Triple Beat, and along with me today is my uh, co-commentator for this, Odds Cornet.
Hello.
Young Samurai could not be here with us today. So
Was that English?
What?
Was that English?
I don't know.
Could not be there?
Yeah, I'm having troubles today myself. So Samurai couldn't be here with us today. So it's just myself and Odds for this Let's Talk Cost Shop podcast. And the first thing that we're going to talk about today, Odds just had an event earlier this morning, CPW Starcade. Let's go ahead and take a look. So here you go. He had a 2-night event. This is the card for night 1. And it was a hell of an event. He did a phenomenal job in this. Sorry, I'm trying to open up my stuff right now. Come on, where is it? Why isn't it popping up? Oh. Why isn't it popping up? There we go. It was a phenomenal event. CPW Starcade 2024. 2-day event. Day 1 had some crazy matches. But to me, one of the moments that stuck out the most was a match that isn't even on the card. Odds had a character he has named John Pricklington walk out and issue an open challenge. And one of the funniest moments to me, or one of the best moments to me, was the person who answered the challenge walking out and kicking his ass, and that is Chris Knight, who we don't see on the card, but was a surprise and was a very welcome surprise to have on the card. Odds, do you have any favorite moments from night 1 yourself, since you were the one who was working on the card? Odds? Earth to Odds, can you hear me? I know you're not muted. Hello?
I would say none because I put it together.
None because you put it together. Dang. Okay. Were there any matches that were in this one where you got the response from the audience that you were hoping for, or any ones where like which of these matches do you think had the best response? Like crowd response. Like, hey, that went exactly how I wanted it to go. Whether it was shock and awe, like let's say when Mamba walked out and choke slammed Akira at the end of that match, or I don't know, maybe Ashley Knight beating Sarah Lopez. Those were both really, really awesome moments for me. Anything?
I'm sorry, I'm sharing this out and apparently while sharing it out,
you're being asked a million questions.
No, this damn thing is saying oh the it's asking me constantly when I come back to allow the microphone.
Oh shit, that's funny. Hey, Matt Storm, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey, Gift Shot.
It's Odds and myself flying solo today.
Would help if we had a partner.
It's all right. He's busy.
I know. Exactly. That's called setup for the next season.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we have no idea what's going on there at all. Like,
Yeah.
Candy was just standing on the outside watching as Mamba chokeslammed Akira. I tell you what, I have to say, one of the matches that surprised me, in a good way, was the U.S. Championship triple threat between Zach Adams, Kelly Mavericks, and Jesse James. Jesse doing something that you normally don't see a champion do going into a match like that, and pinning both of his opponents, retaining his U.S. Championship. That was an amazing performance for him. That and then there's so many good moments. I thought the Taipan match with Hiroko Suzuki was really good. The 5-woman match where we got to see Christina Sanchez in demon form. That was shocking to me. I wasn't expecting that. I thought we were just going to see Christina Sanchez. She walked out in her Dia de los Muertos demon form almost.
Exactly.
I was like, what? Seeing her walk out as the demon, I was like, wow, that's a surprise. And then she
Okay, Wastelander.
did what she did in the match. It was crazy.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. So, which of these matches odds gave you like the best crowd reaction?
I'd probably say the main event.
The main event. Okay, that's fair. All right. Well, this was a 2-night event. So let's move on to the second card. Second card of Starcade, day 2. We just literally finished the show.
Yes, we did.
I would say, for me, the main event, Chet Dietrich versus Brandon Ace, that was a phenomenal match.
Mm-hmm.
And the other match that really caught my attention was the Kyle Young versus Exodus match,
Yeah.
where Kyle finally got his hands on Harvey Gibson.
Uh-huh. Harvey Gibson finally got his.
Finally got his. That was great. The way that was planned out, or the way that played out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the Carmen Gonzalez and Indu Huradas match. That was a lot of fun. Sorry, Samurai, for all the jabs I was making during the match. All the Danny Wells jabs. It's too easy sometimes.
No, if that, it was well worth it.
It was. Yeah, speaking of Danny Wells, a CPW World Tag Team Champion now with Carl Saturn.
Again.
American Made taking a loss. All right.
All right.
Yeah, that was a good match right there. That tag match. Spam. That's good. Oh man. But out of all these matches, and there's 10 of them. I know you literally just did the show, but out of all these matches, all 10 matches, which one would you say you got the best? Or like, which one did you enjoy calling the most? Oh no.
They were all great to call, but the best fan reaction obviously was when Kyle got his hands on Harvey.
Okay. Best fan reaction was when Kyle got his hands on Harvey.
Because Harvey hadn't gotten touched like that in a while, and everyone was waiting for it.
Okay. Now, from a booking standpoint, I know that you run your Fed like it's pro wrestling. Were there any matches on this night that gave you trouble?
To record?
Yes. Or were there any matches that were a pain in the ass to record? Because I know that we've both had this in the past.
Every freaking multi-man match.
Okay.
Besides the tag title match.
Let's
actually went off without a hitch.
So I noticed that there were a lot of commercial breaks in that 5-woman match.
Yeah, because it was freaking 40 minutes long.
And like, I'm not going to bore everybody by having a 40-minute.
I wasn't having a freaking near 30-minute, 40-minute 5-way match.
That I understand. I did that for the Champions Cup for most of the matches. Almost every match in the playoffs was like,
So
I want to say.
So I pulled you in 3 times, cut like 5-6 minutes of the match.
Yep. That's what I did. That's what I did for every single one of the matches in the playoffs ahead of the finals, the 2 like final matches. I cut the matches in half because they were all 30 minutes long, and I was like, how can I cut some time out? I know, I'll throw a commercial in the middle. That'll cut some time off of it. Then I come back to it, keep going. Yo, what's up, Blaze? How you doing?
Blaze?
All right. So we've done our little Starcade.
Welcome to the first Let's Talk Call Shop podcast in StreamYards.
Yes. First time in StreamYards for both of us. I'm still kind of getting the lay of the land here. So let's go to our next topic here. Now that we're done with the pay-per-view. 2k24.
Not even done with the pay-per-view.
Huh?
Let's run this down. What was your favorite part of the entire season of 22?
Favorite part of the entire season?
Of CPW's 22 season. 2k22 season.
That is tough. In all honesty, it's seeing seeing Chet become world champion. That was a really cool moment. So I know it's one that you had been building building to. The other coolest part is probably fireball playback. Nice. It was seeing Harvey finally get his, because for For almost an entire year, if not longer, Harvey has been running around causing trouble. It was seeing him get his.
Last time anyone touched him was Armageddon.
Yep. Yeah, it was the payoff. The payoff of Kyle finally getting his hands on Harvey Gibson. That would be my. Yeah. Those would be my two favorite moments. Oh, sorry. There's one more, and it's from night one actually of Starcade. Chris Knight just completely owning,
verbally and
physically eviscerating John Prickington. that and every Fuke Up match that was ever on a card. every Fuke Up McDummars entrance. That made my entire season right there. Little leprechaun with his big old beard and rubber ducky riding down to the ring. I love the funny stuff. The lighthearted funny stuff. That's my go-to. So yeah.
My favorite part of the season was obviously booking Catherine as the world champion.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be world champion again at some point.
I cannot wait.
We'll talk about 2K24 at some point here, but we're going to talk very little about it. We're going to talk some stuff, not a lot. We're going to talk some, but because we're saving most of what we've got to say for March 3rd when we're on the Get Blaze talk show, and we're able to talk about 2K24 with the three Cosketeers.
Yep.
Me, Blaze, and Triple Beat.
This guy right here. So we're going to do a quick little brief overview of 24, and then we're going to get into something fun.
Caw.
We're going to do a brief overview of 22, and we'll get into something fun right after it. And that something fun is we've got some live matches planned. And the way that we're doing it is there'll be singles matches. You guys in the chat will, since Samurai's not here, you guys can take his place. So it'll either be picking the match type or one of the two opponents in the matches, and we'll let them play out. So let's go to our next slide.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we're going to this. Now we're going to 2K24. Quick little discussion on 2K24. For now, we won't talk too much about it. The two things that I am most excited about in this game are the special referee and the casket and ambulance matches. Well, not in the gauntlet match, but those are the things that I'm most excited for. So I already have story ideas floating around in my head for them. Odds.
I'm just looking forward to getting my hands on it, setting up the rules for the show for 2K24. Yes, there'll be new rules, and some of them will be about some of the paybacks, like the new Fireball. No, folks, not everybody is going to be the Sheik running around throwing fireballs in people's faces.
You may have that reserved for one or two calls, and once it's taken, it's done. Note to self.
Stuff like that.
Note to self: send you every one of my calls with the fireball, and see if you forget to remove it from them.
Oh, I won't.
I know you won't. Even rumbles for double titles. Ooh, yeah. That's gonna be awesome. That is gonna be awesome.
A lot of stuff are back.
Ladder matches for 2 titles with both titles hanging above.
Both titles hanging above.
I'm interested to see what they did with the universe. Like if we have those stupid pop-ups, or if you can set it all ahead of time and not have to worry about the pop-ups anymore. That's the thing that I'm wondering about.
Obviously, I won't have to, but I'll obviously go through the showcase.
Yep.
Go through My Rise. Can't wait to find out what the My Rise story is. I saw some of the belt. I saw 2 belts that were. I'm not going to say what they are, but I saw 2 belts that were from the My Rise story that you can unlock. I'm interested to see where the hell the story goes, and let's hope they've actually. The stories are actually going to be pretty damn fun.
Well, it looks like there might be an ambulance match in one of the stories. Just looking at this screenshot right here, I was grabbing a few screenshots during the stream earlier, and I only grabbed about 5. We already went through most of them. I've got one more after this, but it looks like there might be an ambulance match in the My Rise from this screenshot, because this looks like a cutscene and not something from an actual in-game match, just from observation. But
we'll find out more about the stuff that we're going to be more interested in very, very soon, in probably a couple days or so.
Yep. Stuff like this right here.
Like the creation stuff.
Mm-hmm. Creation stuff. Moments like this with a special referee. That'll be an interesting dynamic to see play out.
Back in the old days, we used to have 2. We actually be able to have 2 referees as in the match, but
that'd be cool.
Good to have creator referee back, guest referee back, but I would have loved to see them bring back the 2 guest referees.
The 27th and the 28th are the Creation Suite and Universe Mode details.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Can't wait for that.
Yep. Those are the 2 things that I care about the most. Creation Suite and Universe Mode.
Yeah. Which is why we're not talking as much about 2K24 here, because like we said, we're going to save all of our stuff for the Get Blaze podcast. Possibly. Who knows? They may have added something new. You never know. Gotta stay positive.
Where have I heard that before? Think positive. I've heard that somewhere before.
Gee, it's almost like I say that nonstop.
Yep. I've heard it in a few places then. All right. So that's our speculation on, or that's what we know about 24 so far. And hey, Fiery, what's going on? Welcome in.
Fiery. But the one thing we will say is that there is now a correction on one of the rumors that was thought of the last time we did a podcast. The rumor of the Iron Survivor match was debunked by Brian Williams. There is no Iron Survivor match in the game. Somebody probably got confused with a bunch of the gauntlet match material, or somebody believed a bunch of bullshit that some YouTuber was using as a thumbnail for, which the latter is more than likely the case.
Yeah.
But it's good that was pretty much solved.
Yep, I'm glad it was debunked, and that we were able to know that, and not speculate.
Yeah, know what's really there, and know what's really going to really go on.
Yeah.
But like we said, if you want to hear more about what we have to say about 2K24, Tune in March 3rd for the Get Blaze talk show. Me and Beetle are going to be on the Get Blaze talk show, talking all about 2K24. And that's going to be
Debunked House Stampede. Huh?
Debunked House. Debunked House Stampede. I wish they would put in the Bunkhouse Stampede.
What is the Bunkhouse Stampede? Never heard of it.
It was Dusty's version of the Rumble, but just everybody is in freaking street clothes.
Oh.
And you bring what you have to the ring.
That's hilarious. All right.
The winner of the match is the winner of the bunkhouse.
Oh dang. All right, we're gonna.
Some wrestlers didn't give a shit, so they just came down in their gear.
Okay.
But those that really cared came down in boots and pants and obviously Dusty had his belt and his freaking cowboy boots.
All right. So, we're gonna move our conversation on to 2K, 2K22 and 2K23, while letting some live matches play out. Hold on. Is the game noise too loud? Just wondering.
No.
Okay. I do need to turn Larry momentarily off here.
Place for posting that. That's going to be. I am definitely very excited for that show. So everyone can set up their notifications so we know so they can get all notifications for the show.
Yep. Everybody in the
live on March 3rd.
In the chat, go ahead and click that link that Blaze just posted. That is going to be a lot of fun. If you haven't subscribed to Blaze, I'm going to quote something that he always says.
You're doing
it wrong. Go ahead and subscribe to Blaze. We will be there March 3rd. Game noise not coming through at all. StreamYard doesn't share audio from sharing a window. I had to use my speaker near my mic for the game audio. All right.
Well, the more you know, and knowing it's half the battle. G.I. Joe.
So Odds, are you echoing? Or you guys don't hear Odds echoing, do you? Because he's coming through the speaker as well to get the game noise. Oh, lovely. This is going to be fun.
Do you really need game noise?
Not really. Not because we'll be talking about it while letting the game play out.
Talking about 2K22 and 2K23? Lovely.
Yeah. So. Oh. Interesting. All right.
That is great. Oh.
Yeah, that is. If it cancels your echo, then cool. All right. Well, then in that case, let's play some matches here. So you guys in the chat will let you pick first what type of a one-on-one match do we want to set up. You can pick from many of the in-game stipulations. Oh, all right, cool. Is it working right now? That's the biggest question. Is it working right now, or are we having audio issues?
Certainly doesn't sound like it from my end, but
All right, I'll believe it.
you'll believe it until somebody else proves us wrong.
Yep. Okay. Because crowd noise is on now, and I turned the volume up a little bit too, trying and capture it. Let's do a screw it. We'll do Hell in a Cell. Worst. This is going to be a fun match type to talk about too, because I know this match type drove you insane in 22. We'll do it from
in more ways than one.
Yep.
That's
Sweet.
Good. Thanks for telling us there, Blaze.
That's awesome, and that is good to hear. I'm gonna go to one of my favorite arenas in this game, Motor City Mayhem. Okay. Odds. Who are you picking?
Who am I picking for what? This horrible match type?
Yes. You know the roster well enough. Who do you want to pick?
American Reign versus American Rex.
Oh fuck. All right.
I am a bad man.
We're getting the American Reign versus Rex. And you said American Rex, so he's going to be in his American Reign copycat attire. Because I have one of his original attires. Gosh dang it. Oh, Helena, I forgot there was a cell match? Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah, because all there is hell.
So this is the match tab we will be getting today.
Can we go straight into 22?
Yeah, let's go into 22. So
Can we go straight into... All right. Let me say the most out there thing humanly possible. 2K22 is worse than 2K20.
I actually agree with you on this.
I'd rather deal with 2K20 than 2K22.
Gosh dang it.
2K22 multi-man tag matches, forget about it.
Okay.
Because people will just stand there and have a staring contest for no fucking reason.
Oh, and then they had that glitch at the end of 22 where they were all just standing around the ring after they got eliminated. They turned into elimination lumberjack matches.
That and for whatever reason, in all matches, there is this invisible wall where stuff that used to be commonplace, like a wrestler walking to the back after being eliminated, is now impossible.
Yep.
For whatever reason, because some amateur designed the game.
Yep.
Not to mention, at the start of 2K20, you couldn't make calls for at least 5-6 months.
That's true. That is very true. 2022, for me, I was able to make everything. So I made all my base models first. So I was able to keep creating and editing everybody as I went along. But it's me. But later on, towards the end of the year, when I wanted to actually make a few more people, I couldn't do it. I couldn't make anything. I couldn't even edit characters at that point. The game would just freeze up on me. I could edit arenas, but I couldn't edit characters. And this is 2K22 that I'm talking about right now. Oh, that's loud. As long as you guys can hear the match, that's what's important. So,
why'd you want to hear the match? You'd rather want to hear us.
Yep. So 22, I had a lot of interesting moments in. I enjoyed the Hell in a Cell matches. I know that a lot of people didn't, but I liked how they would constantly break out of the cells.
I liked them too, but they were a pain in the ass to record, and here's why. The reason I didn't do any of my standard edited matches that I love to do is because in 2K22, trust me, they would have been a nightmare. They would have been an absolute positive nightmare. Absolutely a nightmare. Because the zoom in and zoom out of the zoom in and zoom out of highlight reel in 2K22 sucks eggs.
Yeah.
The focus goes in and out depending on where the person is. Depending on where your claw is or where anybody is, the focus goes in and out depending on whether you zoom in or zoom out. There's no consistency. There's no... It looks like they just worsened a great mode from 2K19.
Yeah.
It's like it's a bastardization of 2K19's mode. I would have hated doing my edited matches in that mode.
Well, the cutscenes were not easy. That was covered. What's up, Mac? How you doing?
Yeah, the fireball was covered a bit.
We're gonna probably talk about that more
on March 3rd.
On March 3rd.
On the Get Blaze talk show, where me and Beetle will be on there.
It's all good, bro.
Getting cutscenes in 2K22 was a disaster.
Cutscenes in 22 were a pain in the ass. I agree. You had to like really finagle it to get it right. Oh,
and even then, there is no feature where there is no preview feature, so you can't have a widescreen look at what you just made.
Exactly.
So you lose quality. It doesn't matter. It's YouTube, so losing quality doesn't really mean anything.
Right.
But even then, some of it, like some of the things you can't change, like the promos, you can really see it because the character becomes all pixelated because the zoom in and zoom out feature of the game sucks.
Yeah.
Because then you have to do the zoom in, zoom out feature in Share Factory, and that's going to distort everything. Just because that's what the zoom in, zoom out feature is supposed to do.
Well, I'll say that Q did a really good job of using the zoom in, zoom out feature for 22 with all of his cutscenes.
I wish.
We'll find more out about that on the 27th and 28th. That's when they're supposed to drop the Universe and Creation Suite news. So we don't know yet whether promos are back. I hope so. They were fun. They were a fun little addition to Universe mode, or a fun part of it.
Some matches in 2K22 could be good. Some matches couldn't.
Yep.
The Myrai story, forget about it. It was okay, but completely forgettable. My faction, who the hell was doing my faction?
Not me. Probably not anybody here.
The only thing I can give as a benefit now is that all the my faction stuff that you get, you can actually use outside of my faction.
That's a good point, Mac. That's a really good point. Why are we waiting an entire week? This crowd just keeps getting louder. Well, they were not happy when Rex kicked out. That's funny.
Yeah, crowds. It seems like crowds were better in 2K22, 2K23. 2K22's crowds sucked ass.
Yeah, they did. That's a good one. Hoping that they fix the attire pieces clipping like headgear.
Yeah. By the way, for anybody that may like 2K20 or like things about 2K22, I am sorry. I just got done with my season in 22, and I made the decision that I will never go back to that game for the rest of my life. Even if I am tortured and waterboarded, I will never go back to 2K22. I'd rather see my Lord in heaven than go back to 2K22.
I enjoyed it. The parts that I enjoyed though were like the matches, because I was able to finagle the matches to get them working right. The issue I had with it though is I kept constantly having to change my game setup to get the matches I wanted, because every time they would do an update, it would change the match flow.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the same issue in 23. Every time they did an update, it would change the match flow, and I'd have to re-change everything all over again. Rex.
Oh, shut up, Rex.
Mac, get the water. Let's find out if he's telling the truth. I do need to do one thing real quick for my own ears so I can hear better. When that crowd gets going, I can't hear anything you're saying. So
why
say something.
Have it up to 100?
Because I was a dumbass.
Clearly, it's the standard is 70.
Actually, the standard when you open the game in 23, it was all 100.
Really?
Yes, I defaulted everything.
What?
Remember.
What fucking genius came up with that idea?
I have no clue. Always set to 30 or 40. Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds about at the right point.
20 could have been a classic if it didn't crash all the time.
Oh
it
yeah,
it really could have.
If 20 had no bugs and all that, I think people would be looking at 20 in a far different light. Honestly, if you go back to 20 now, it doesn't crash as much. Apparently, from what I've heard, it doesn't crash as much. And it's not as, and honestly, it's not as bad as, if you have the right setup, it's not as bad as 2K22. Sorry, I'll probably calm down about 2K22 eventually.
He'll calm down once he'll calm down once he's had some time away from it. So
even time away from it, I'll be like, I remember my stories. I never want to go back.
I enjoyed the stories that I was able to tell.
I'm not talking about my stories like on the show, like my stories behind the scenes.
Oh, like all the matches you had to record over and over and over again. Okay. Give us a good example of a match that you had to record like more than 7 times. More than 10 times actually.
May I count how many?
Yeah. How many matches?
At times I sit there and think, but then remind myself. I think I blocked some out of my mind due to PTSD.
Where is it? This right here. Sometimes accidents happen and run with it. There you go.
Yeah, so many matches had so many problems. At times, some characters wouldn't. Some cause wouldn't fight the right way, wouldn't wrestle at all, and just had crappy matches. Others just ended up being squash matches. Oh, good gracious. Trying to do squash matches was like pulling teeth.
Yeah. Well, that's what created Main Event Phillip or 5-star Phillip or whatever you want to call it. 5-star.
Oh yeah, I don't know how you forgot. You forgot the H in Sarah.
Whoops. That was in 20. Oh, dang it! I forgot the H. All right, I was using your 2K22 version of her as a model to make this one.
Yeah, so, well, how the hell did you forget the H?
I don't know. Brain fart.
I could buy that.
That's what I'm chalking it up to. It was a brain fart. Get the water. Get the water. Please go to the comments.
If I was just playing 2K22 just to stream in the universe mode or whatever, which I played universe mode for like a month, and then some people were saying, "Oh, my universe mode, I lost all my data," and I just never touched it after that. Because A, it was boring, and B, I don't want to lose my data. I wouldn't want to lose my data on something that was boring as hell.
Yeah, I think.
But if I wasn't doing my show the way I was doing it, I probably would have had at least a little bit of a decent I would have had a little better of an experience. I guarantee you, if we had Q in here, I guarantee there would be far more stories about how bad 2K22 is.
Yeah.
For what me and Q do and for what we do, yeah, 2K22 was a nightmare.
Yeah. 2K22 was a little hard if you do like those over-edited shows, so it made it a lot harder to do it. I created my own backstage area to do cutscenes from. It was an arena. I had an arena, and it was just a blank ring And then I set up a backstage area on the stage so I could do my backstage cutscenes because I was tired of not being able to or not having any in game. So that's how I did like the Delvin cutscene and I think I had Jesus do one in front of like one of those big green bushes that they have in the ECW arena. So I mean, that was my workaround for it. At least was like I'm gonna try and do what I can to make good stories. But going through and doing the cutscenes was a pain in the ass because you had to wait for it to load, and that was the one thing I didn't like about 23 was that right there. But as far as like all the matches were and the way that I did the shows, I enjoyed 22 because I was able to get good matches out of it, and I just kind of tried focusing more on the matches than I did on the story. I took that route of just adapting and changing my style for it. I was trying to do everything out of Universe at first. Then they gave me a 14-match show, and it lasted for like 4 hours, and I just went, oh my god, I'm never doing Universe again. But 22 was, I believe you and Monk said it was like the year, it was my year because I had figured out the game at that point. So
by the time I got to 2K22, you had solved everything with 2K22.
Yep.
Not to mention, in some cases, some of the stuff that should be turned off just pop up.
Yep.
Like when someone taps out in a submission, you see the submission, the bar just pops up out of freaking nowhere.
That was actually a 20 issue that reappeared as well. Like that was from 20. There were a few things from 20 that appeared in 22 that they've fixed in 23. So like you don't see the submission bar pop up anymore. You don't see the indicators anymore if you turn indicators off. The only indicator that you still see is the is that stupid wheel
with the ladder match, but we've solved that problem and we've explained that away
too. And the indicator for the cage that hasn't gone away either. But
well, that's why I don't do escape cage matches.
Yep. But that indicator really doesn't bother me, especially when you're doing test matches. Having the indicators up is kind of nice because you can see like how quickly the AI respond to things, and then you can try and tweak your settings to make it slower or faster. For indicators like escaping the cage, I try to make it faster, but that's just me. But that's what I enjoyed about 23 is I feel like they took a lot of the issues that they had in 22 and they actually addressed them and fixed them. Hey, a wild TJ arrives. What's going on, TJ? Arrives in a helicopter. All the apocalypse is now Ride of the Valkyries. Oh. But I defaulted everything recently, so we're watching default sliders matches currently. So we have playing right now while we talk about what we liked and didn't like about 22 and 23. One of the things that I liked about 22 that I didn't get to enjoy in 23 was the editing was easier because it was on PlayStation and I was so used to Share Factory, but that's not a game issue. That's a me issue. I hadn't readjusted to editing on PC yet.
Buying something drunk issue?
I was drunk when I bought 23, yes, but I'm happy I bought it. And when I got 24, I got it on PC. Hey, Jamar Games, welcome in.
Yeah, you and that PC Master Race.
I wouldn't call it that, but I haven't disliked it. You know,
Yes, folks,
I've been enjoying it.
I'm just pissing with him.
Yep, he's giving me shit right now. It's fun for him to give me shit. Please share the whiskey. I'm enjoying 23 from that perspective. You know, I've really enjoyed what I've been able to create in this game and keep going. Compared to 22, I consider this the working version of 22. Never had an issue in character creation, never had any of the major issues that I had in 22. Towards the end of 22, to give you guys an idea, and the reason that I jumped to 23 one of the reasons that I jumped to 23, one of the reasons that I jumped to 23 was because in 2k22, towards the end of its run, I could not create anything. I had ideas for characters. I went in to try and create. I deleted and reinstalled my game 3 times one night just to try and create something. And every time I went in, I get that the loading wheel of doom. In 23, I never had that. No loading wheel of doom. Creation was relatively smooth. I only ran into the infinite load twice, but that was because I put too much stuff on a CAW. I didn't overload any of my characters. Most of my characters have like 5 logos at max, at most. But got some new titles.
Oh yeah, need I forget? Put your tattoos in the wrong section, and half your tattoos will be cut off.
Yep, that was a 22 special. So this is the new universal belt that will be going into 2k24 Universal Heavyweight Championship. Just redid the logos on this the other night. Reworked them. I took the old World Heavyweight Championship logo that I had for the Octane belt and just kind of retextured it and redid it. So this is going into 24. I updated the Intercontinental belt too. Here it is. I have never got the infinite load screen in 23, thankfully. 22, I got it all the time towards the end. That was.
By the way, for those that do not know why I'm not talking about 2K23, that's because I didn't buy 2K23.
Yep.
I skipped 2K23.
Are you wishing you would have bought it now?
No, I just wish I had switched the ones I skipped.
Yeah. I mean, by the time you got into 22, you could have just bought 23.
But technically, getting the collector's edition, I have 23 now.
Yep.
I ain't gonna do shit with it, but I have it now.
This is the new U.S. title.
Oh yeah, belts. May I count the ways how crappy belts look in 22.
Oh, I know. And they fixed it in 23. Thank God. So hopefully the fix carries over into 24. Every year they seem to do it slightly different.
One of the only things I think they didn't fix was the damn plate is the damn plate popping up at the bottom. The nameplate popping up at the bottom when showing off the belt. In actual matches.
Yeah.
Let's hope that is fixed, because I'm tired of that.
Congrats on getting the PS5 Wastelander.
Congrats.
All right.
I cannot wait for 2K24. I have so many ideas for the season. I have so many ideas of what I'm going to do, what we're going to do, of all that stuff. There's going to be so much going on.
It'll be a lot of fun.
And if it ain't good enough, this is going to be a far more highly enjoyable experience. Skipping 25 and waiting for 26. This will be a far better experience when doing the show, and I'll be able to do a lot more stuff, besides doing my show.
Yeah.
With 2K24, if that's the case, which is even better.
And if you only buy one game each year, since they're getting more, or if you buy a game every other year, since they're getting more expensive, you'll actually have money to spend on other games.
But they're not getting more expensive, though. Not as much. People complain about a $10 raise for certain games.
Yeah,
they were complaining about a $10 raise fucking 20 years ago, when it went from like 40 or $50 to $60 for a game.
I guess I just can't justify personally. I can't justify paying. Jesus Christ! I can't justify paying so much.
Undertaker is revving the bike as you're.
Yep.
Saying,
I can't justify. Yep. He doesn't want to hear it. It's like, we're not listening to this. Wow. Sheesh. I can't justify paying $80 for a base game. That it's hard for me.
But some are not. I've never seen an $80 base game.
This one was. And the collector's edition is the price of what used to be 2 games. It's $120.
The base game was like $70.
Yeah. $70 for the base game, $120 for the game, the 40 years of WrestleMania version.
Yeah, but 70 isn't 80. You don't have $10 in tax.
It's about 75. Oh my God. What? Why is his music playing? I had music turned off. This game.
Well, good thing we're not hearing it.
All right. And we're hearing all my notifications now because I have my computer on. Like da 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 da. I don't know. I just can't. I don't know. I bought the Game of the Year edition this year. It was $120. Just like, damn, that's like half of my Costco run for that week.
Yes, and if that's the case, I can understand that. If you're talking about, oh, that's like half the food, that perfectly understand. Perfectly understand that.
That's
But if it's just complaining about, oh the money, it raised $10. Everything raised $10. Everything raised in tax.
Oh my god! Read the chat.
I know. I guarantee you, if you went back 10 years, what a surprise! A lot of stuff is $10 cheaper. That's called inflation.
Not a lot of stuff. It is called inflation, but when prices are increasing faster than pay, it kind of sucks. Just saying.
Inflation sucks. It sucks in any case.
TJ and Wastelander.
Inflation sucks anyway. That's a part of inflation. I guarantee our parents and their parents and their parents' parents have complained about the same damn stuff all their lives.
Probably. Oh. It I just think games are getting too expensive. That's all I'm saying. It's an opinion. I think they're getting way more expensive, and that's probably why I'm probably going to go to that same thing where it's like buy a game, skip a year, buy the following year, and I'll probably start that after 22. So it'll be 24. Buy 24, hold on.
Buy 22, really? I didn't do that with the servers down.
Shut up. Buy 24, skip 25, buy 26.
Oh, you mean do what I was doing for the past couple years now?
That's been the whole point of what I was saying. Jesus Christ. That's what I was getting to.
Yeah, but I've never complained about inflation.
That's nice.
The game has to be worth the purchase. If the game is worth your purchase and you're going to play it all that time, if I get 100 hours out of a game that I spent $70 for or $60 for, I got my money's worth. Somebody like somebody from a past generation would probably say 100 hours in something, that's still not enough for a $60 purchase.
Yep. It just depends where your money's going and where your head is at the time.
Oh yeah, Fight Forever is not worth a dime, let alone 60.
If they were charging like $10 for it, maybe.
I still wouldn't buy it.
That's nice. If they were charging $10 for it, then I'd think about it. But
I wouldn't buy it even if they were charging $5. They would have to pay me to get the game.
I wouldn't buy that game either.
I wouldn't buy it. And I didn't buy it. I love the Arkhamverse, but I knew the game was going to suck. So I didn't buy it.
Okay. But if you enjoy it, good on you.
Exactly. So. If you enjoy it, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
You enjoyed it, and you thought that game was worth your $60 purchase.
Yep.
That's all we all do. Is say,
Anyway.
can we justify buying this?
Yeah.
My point is, I've never understood why anyone would complain about inflation when it's going to happen eventually to everything.
Okay. Maybe you're misunderstanding. The part of the inflation that I'm complaining about is the fact that the price of goods are going up faster than the price of pay. That's a little different than complaining about in actual inflation, because if the price of pay was, or if the price of what people were making was matching the price of goods and everything
That's
else,
more of an economy. That's more of an economy problem than.
Yeah, it's not
That's
inflation.
more of an economy problem than an inflation problem.
It is inflation, but it's also the economy, right? So I wasn't just complaining that things were getting too expensive. I was complaining that things were getting too expensive and prices weren't, or and what people are making isn't going up at the same time.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you look at what this podcast is called, it's called the Let's Talk Cost Shop podcast, not the Let's
Thank
Talk
you.
Business podcast.
I have been trying to get you back on track this entire time. So
I've been trying to get you back on track.
Dude, you're the one that went on the tangent.
You're the one that started this little tangent.
All right. I made one statement and you went on a tirade. Anyway.
You know me by now.
We tried to get the last word in. Sorry. Sorry, people watching at home. You guys are like, wow, this is a very dysfunctional podcast. All these guys are doing is digging into each other. No,
it's called talking to somebody they consider a brother. You'll learn it when you find one.
Yeah, you end up fighting with them a lot. All right, so as far as this game goes, as far as 23 was concerned, I felt that the female Myrise was funner than the male Myrise, personally. Although I made the male Myrise work with Kelly Mavericks, calling him the Lock and all that.
You mean
crap.
the Lock?
Yes, the Lock. Thankfully, a gimmick that he has already dropped. Moved on from. Which I've got some interesting stuff planned for him in 24.
So you mean you put it under lock and key?
Yep, I put that gimmick under lock and key about 6 months ago. But I had fun with the storyline, and I had fun kind of playing the character during the Myrise.
Two people left because of my puns. Screw you, they were funny. Okay. I know there were some people who actually made like the Lock characters out of it, and yeah. But oh, big power bomb. Damn. This has actually been a good match. Oh, I believe it. Wastelander. But I've got some cool stuff planned in 24 for some of the characters that I've got. Unique storylines that should be fun to... Yeah, so we're done talking about 2K23?
We're not. Are we?
I think we are.
All right. We'll finish this match and then we'll wrap up the podcast.
Yeah, we don't even have to finish the match. We can talk about what our plans are going forward.
Yeah.
I can start first and then you can end with stuff from your shows and all that.
Yeah. So what are your plans?
What you're gonna see from me is obviously me and Beetle on the Get Place talk show on March 3rd. That's the next thing you're going to see. In the meantime, and in between time, I'm setting a lot of stuff up for the 2K24 season. I'll be doing some out of character streams, maybe with the brothers in arms. Who knows? With the My Rise, with the My Rise stories and stuff. We'll see. We'll see how many of them we'll do. I definitely want to get it done I definitely want to get that stuff done in a decent amount of time. So a lot of it's going to have to be done off camera.
That's fair.
But for the most part, setting up for the 2K24 season. Hope everybody is going to enjoy. There's a lot of stuff I have to do, but definitely enjoy the small streams in between.
Okay. For me, what I've got coming up is, of course, like you had said, March 3rd, the Let's Talk Cost Shop podcast. I'm going to watch a bunch of the videos that...
Is that the Let's Talk Cost Shop podcast?
I mean, sorry, the Get Blaze talk show. I'm tired, right? Sorry. For me, what I have coming up is what we both have coming up is the Get Blaze talk show on March 3rd, talking about 2K24. And then what I've got coming down the line myself, and as far as 24 goes, I think what I'm going to be doing at first is playing the My Rise. I plan on doing a GM mode with odds and samurai in 24 as well. Like Mac had mentioned earlier, I think for the first time in any of these current games, I might actually jump into my faction and try it out just to give it a try. Because I only grab the cards. That's all I do. I grab the stupid card on the way in and then back out of the app and move on with what I'm doing.
Because that's pretty much what it is. It's an app game.
Yeah. I'll definitely be streaming the showcase and the My Rise from 24. So I'll be doing all the in-game stuff first, pretty much. Then I'll start doing the character creation, arena creation, title creation, and hopefully have a show up and running by mid-April, early May. That's my goal. My goal is to get my season started either in mid-April or early May. If I have to push it back, I have to push it back, but I'll keep everybody updated as far as what I'm doing. Just depends on how busy I am.
Same here, and the CPW DAO rules will be updated before the new season, so everyone can understand, and before the roster is put in, so everyone knows what you can, so everyone knows their limitations.
Yep.
With a lot of things, with the super finishers and all that stuff.
And that's going to be the other thing for me is figuring out what my roster is going to look like based on my schedule. So I know that I want to start doing shows in May, so I might just, if I have to, I might not make as many characters as I made last year, and I might download more characters from people just so I can fill up the roster and get shows going. But we'll see how everything plays out. I'm not going to speak on anything that far in advance without knowing or speculate on anything, I know the characters that I need to make that people want, so I'm going to focus on them first, and then I'll start adding in the other ones that I want to add in. And as I do that, I'll be doing matches, and of course, so you'll get some streams that are character test matches where it's like I'm putting them against each other to see how they play. And I'll probably do a bunch of test matches and stream it so everybody can see it with in-game characters. But,
But anyway, with that being said, we will return to you all with the next Let's Talk Call Shop podcast on March 10th.
Yep.
With
March
the
10th.
episode.
Mm-hmm. So we'll.
Oh, it's daylight saving times begins on March 10th. Cool.
Sweet.
But anyway, we'll be seeing you on March 10th for the next Let's Talk Call Shop podcast. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't worry, Samurai will be with us the next time. We have not dropped him from our team.
Yep, he's just taking a quick break today. That's all.
He could not join us, which is sad, but it is what it is.
All right, guys, we will see you all next time, and see you next week on March 3rd for the Get Blazed talk show. He dropped the link in the chat earlier on, so if you scroll up, you can find it.
Yep.
Click on it, and
I believe he's doing WrestleSense right now, so
yep, we'll head over there.
Yep.
All right.
Talk to y'all later.
Talk to everyone later. Have a great day. Bye.